that I can get this. Okay, Facebook, so here we are again, July energy transmission. Hopefully this one sticks and that my connection doesn't get dropped. I don't know what the heck is going on with my internet these days, but it seems to be really, really lazy. It only wants to work when it absolutely has to. So hopefully this one's gonna stick. So here we are, July energy transmission. There's so much to share and there's so much to talk about. And I know that I've been a little bit MIA. Thank you to those of you who have reached out to me saying, hey, what's up? Where you been? I haven't seen any videos. What's going on? You know, nothing's been going on that's bad. It's just me going through my own personal stuff. I know we're all on this crazy ride right now and that this journey is so intense. And we're going to talk about that. We have so much to talk about in this month's energy transmission. This is what I am calling the big emotional reset. We've got this huge eclipse coming up in July, which I'm going to talk about. We have Neptune retrograde through November, which I'm going to talk about. But this is our chance to reevaluate our relationship with everything on all levels. This is multidimensional living, my friends. This is the time to ask the questions. What are you perpetuating? Where have you alienated yourself from your life? How are you meeting your life in your experience and your creations? Are you meeting your life as a victim? Are you meeting your life in anger? Are you meeting your life with a sense of entitlement, with joy and surrender? We're going to talk all about this and more in the July energy transmission. So give me a thumbs up, give me some love, give me an emoji if you are ready for July, if you are as excited as I am for the last half of this year. I cannot believe that we are halfway through this year already. It's blowing my mind. But two things that I want to announce before we get into it. Friday, July 6th from 7 to 8:30 p.m. here in Los Angeles at the House of Intuition. It is the monthly Sound Healing Circle. It is the first Friday of every month from 7 to 8:30 p.m. I will put the link in the description. It's also on Instagram. If you click the link in my bio, you will see the July energy transmission come up. Or if you are on Facebook, on Andrew Martin Energy, I have an event that I've created, so you can sign up through the event. I don't handle any of the bookings. I don't handle any of the payments. I don't handle any of the reservation. That is all done through House of Intuition and their meetup page. So I will also share that link in the description on YouTube because, hi YouTube, you guys aren't watching this live, but you're getting the recording of the live experience. So Friday, July 6th, 7 to 8:30 p.m., an hour and a half of amazing sound healing. It's so much fun. I love these sound healing circles, and I really hope that you'll join me if you are in LA. And then my Mastery Mentorship Program, I have 3 spots available. I have a couple of people who are finishing up, and I have 1 spot that was still open, and I'm opening early, a couple of extra spots, because I'm really getting the sense that people could really, really use the Mastery Mentorship Program. So again, go to andrewmartin.energy, my website, click on the tab at the top that says Mastery Mentorship. Mastery Mentorship is a 7-week program of one-on-one, intense, very deeply personal, very transformational, really, really powerful work that you and I do together. This is me walking with you, walking by your side. To every step of the way, I am with you through this program, and it has been so powerful and so transformative for everybody who has gone through this program. And I have a few spots available. They go fast. They always go really, really fast. So you can go to andrewmartin.energy, click on the Mastery Mentorship tab, and then you can click the button in there to access my calendar for the free 30-minute intake chat, because I like to make sure that it's a fit for both of us before we commit to working together in this program. But Mastery Mentorship is amazing. It is a labor of love. It is like the next level. It is the question. It is the answer to the question of what next, what now, where's my purpose, what's the point, why am I here, and what am I capable of? We talk all about that kind of stuff in Mastery Mentorship, and it really has been such a transformative experience for everyone who has participated. So I highly encourage you to check that out if you're ready for the next level. But on we are to the July energy transmission. Excuse me, I'm so thirsty because, like I said earlier, I'm sweating like a hooker in church. So, give me a thumbs up, give me a heart, give me an emoji if you are ready to let's see. How do I want to put this? If you are ready to seize the opportunity to reevaluate your relationship with everything in your life. And I can hear some of you right now going, no, I don't want to reevaluate anything else. I'm done with reevaluating. I just want to have a life that I love and sit on the beach and drink, coconut drinks or whatever. I get it. But here's the thing, you guys. I understand those moments, because what I was saying earlier, and I'm going to tell you real quickly, like, I have been going through it myself, right? So I understand that where we are right now is a really, really crazy place. It's almost like we're flying blind in so many ways. It's almost like the only sense of clarity that we can really ever find is the one in here, which is always there, but it seems like now more than ever that the difference between the world out here and the world in here is becoming more and more contrasting. And so I understand the desire to just have it be done with. Let me just take my bra off and be done. I want to cross the finish line. I want the magic pill. I want the cure. I want the fix. But here's the thing. When we come at our life from that place, from that mentality of, isn't it over yet? That is so disempowering. That is so victim-y, needy, whiny. And I am not saying that those moments aren't real. Like, I get it. We have those moments where we are just, our back is against the wall. We're at the end of our rope and we just say, come on already. Let's just fucking get on with it. So those moments are important to let them out, right? Let that explosion out. Let that eruption move out and through you. But to come from this perspective that, life is hard and it's difficult and it's challenging and I want it to be over, and when am I going to, this sort of whiny, like really, really disempowered, really, I can't, and that's the other thing, that I can't. I hear people saying this all the time. I can't. There are more than 7 billion people on the planet at this time. Imagine if all of us were walking around all the time saying, I can't. It's such a tiny little thing. And you might think that I'm being really picky and, getting in there and sort of digging at these little nitty gritty, picky details. I am a Virgo after all. But if you walk around and your response to everything that you don't want to do or that's difficult or challenging for you is, I can't. What do you think you're doing? So here's the question. For July, what are you perpetuating? How are you meeting your life? When shit gets tough and your back's against the wall, is your response, I can't. Give me a thumbs up, give me a heart, give me an emoji if you are sick to fucking death of this. I can't. I literally can't even. I can't, girl, I can't. No. Knock it the fuck off. You can, and you will. Until you're, 6 feet under, buried in the ground, that's why you're fucking here. So enough with the I can't. I literally can't even with I can't. I'm so over it. And I know it makes me sound like an old man yelling at the millennials, but that's the fucking way I feel. So anyway, back to the point of this video is July is such a crazy month. It is so like, I don't know. I was sitting this morning trying to sort of tune in and clue in onto, how can I describe this? What really is going on? And really, I think it's a couple of things. Number one is we have the lunar eclipse coming up in July. I can't remember what day it is. It's at the end of July. Please, if someone has that date, post it in the comments because I have completely spaced it. But this lunar eclipse in July is the longest total lunar eclipse of the century. Now, the moon represents the emotional self, the intuitive self, the feminine self. And when it is completely blotted out by the sun, it is really an opportunity for us to have an emotional reset. In many ways, that's really what this is. And the fact that it is so long, it's like an hour and a half of this lunar eclipse. And that is pretty incredible if you think about it. And that is kind of the foundation that July is built on, is this opportunity for us to reset our emotions and to reevaluate our relationship with everything. We also have Neptune in retrograde through November. Now, Neptune, when it is moving direct, it's about dreams and spirituality and personal possibility. And, Neptune loves to sort of gloss over the nitty-gritty and the rough details. Neptune is absolutely a dreamer. Neptune, sometimes we have a tendency to get trapped in this sort of fantasy world. But when Neptune is retrograde, man, it is almost impossible to ignore the truth. Neptune in retrograde is a wake-up call. It is an opportunity to make big changes in our life. And so Neptune retrograde with this massive lunar eclipse, plus it's in July, which is Cancer season, which is already super watery and emotional. this really adds up to be a beautiful opportunity for us to get really, really clear on some stuff, you guys, to get right with ourselves on some stuff, to start to ask these really tough questions. This is part of why I have opened up additional spots in the Mastery Mentorship Program, because I have a sense that the things and the questions that we're going to be asking and that we're going to be dealing with are going to be really major for us. Not that you're incapable of doing it on your own. I certainly don't think that, but that's why I've opened up some extra spots in Mastery Mentorship, so that you have an opportunity to connect with me, so that I can walk with you through some of this crazy stuff that July is giving us an opportunity to dive into. This is like a golden ticket. This is an engraved invitation from the universe. Thank you. Lunar eclipse is July 27th. This is an engraved invitation from the universe to get in there and open it up and get really fucking real with ourselves. You can't ignore bad relationships anymore. You can't ignore that you're in debt. You can't ignore the dreams that have been sitting in front of your face trying to get your attention for so long. It's time to figure out what's real and what's fantasy. And it's not to say that we can't have the fantasy, but it's time to get clear on where am I? Where are my feet? Where am I planted? What am I rooted into? And more importantly, how, and I would say most importantly, is how am I meeting my life? And when we talk about multidimensionality, and this is something that I talk a lot about in my sessions, and it's something that I talk a lot about it even in my own life, is we have these levels of awareness: mental, emotional, physical, and energetic. And all four of these are really how we begin to understand our multidimensional awareness. By moving in and out of these different layers of awareness in any given moment, I can access a completely different level of reality. You know, if I were to take us through a guided meditation for the next 15 minutes, and we were going to sit here and we would, okay, focus on the mental self, what's going on in the body, where do you feel it, blah, 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 blah. Now focus on, or the physical self, now focus on the mental self. What's the story that's running? What's the narrative that's running? Focus on the emotional self, right? So you can move in and out of these different levels of awareness, and this is how we begin to live multidimensionally. But the question here for July is, what are you denying yourself access to? Maybe you think about this problem, right? Maybe there's an issue or something in your life that you like to think a lot about. And you do a really good job of rehashing and hashing and rehashing and hashing and taking it all apart and putting it back together and thinking and rethinking and overthinking. Hello, my fellow earth signs. But if it never fucking moves out of the level of mental awareness, what good is it? If you are not feeling the emotions that are also available to you around this topic, if you are not taking the time to get into the body and feel like, okay, so this issue that I have that I keep thinking about, where am I storing it in my body? Where am I physically connected to this issue that I'm either denying or avoiding or not wanting to dig into more deeply? So if we're not allowing ourselves to move through all levels of awareness with every issue in our experience that we feel needs tending to, and here's the thing, you get to decide. You get to decide what you're going to focus on. I'm not going to give you like a list of things that you should be paying attention to this month, because this is the question for you. What in your life are you ready to change your relationship with? This is about examining your relationship with your relationships even. And with Neptune retrograde, and we have 2 lunar eclipses. There's a partial on the 13th. Thank you to whoever posted that date. But the big one is at the end on the 27th. And that's the one that's the total lunar eclipse. So we have a couple of them in July, which is really giving us an opportunity to really, really tap into what is going on and how do I feel. And here is where the power is. You want to know where your power lies? Because here's what I know. Your power can never be taken away. Your power can only be surrendered. Your power is yours. You are born with it. And yes, we are oftentimes raised in a society which does everything it can to tell us how disempowered we are, or how powerless we are, or how we need something out here to decide for us and tell us what to do and keep us safe and save us. I'm here to tell you, your government is not fucking coming to save you. Your church is not fucking coming to save you. This is about you saving yourself so that you can show other people how to do the same. So July is all about, where do we find that power? Where do we find the power for transformation? Because that's really what this is all about. This is the power of transformation. This is the ability to transmute your life. This is fucking alchemy. You want to know how to turn lead into gold? This is how it works. Of course, that's metaphorical, right? It wasn't really about turning lead into gold. Alchemy was really just the science of spirit. So give me a thumbs up, give me a heart, give me an emoji if you're ready to transform your life. And I'm not talking about a temporary fix that 3 weeks later you go back to the way it always was. So here is the place of power. There is a gap. There is a gap that exists between stimulus and response. Something happens, something comes from out here, or something erupts inside, or I have a thought, or I have a feeling, or I have a something, I'm triggered on something. That is the impulse. That is what wakes me up. That is what catalyzes me. That is what gets me either on alert or on defense or on edge or ready to go or whatever it is. Catalyst, impulse, response. Guess what? 99% of us, myself included, don't even stop to think. Catalyst, reaction, catalyst, reaction, catalyst, reaction. I'm always reacting. I'm reactive. I'm triggered. I'm defensive. Because I'm not taking the time to learn how to connect to myself and find that space between catalyst and response. This is where my power is. Because I always have a choice. I always have a choice. Do you hear me? I always have a choice. And oftentimes, even in the darkest, tiniest, most cramped, oppressive, constricted moments, the only choice I have is how I respond. But that is the beginning of transformation. If I am just on autopilot, not thinking, not connected, not being present, I'm always just going to go back and forth between catalyst and response and reaction, and it's always going to be the same thing. Always, always, always. But that is what July offers us, is an opportunity to expand this space. Because in this space is where we ask the really, really powerful questions. And in this space is where I get to decide that I'm going to make a new choice. That I'm not going to just put my head in the sand and pretend everything's okay when it's not. That I'm not going to continue to say yes to things that I don't want to fucking say yes to, and quite frankly haven't wanted to say yes to for months, but for whatever reason, I keep saying yes. That is where I have the choice to choose a new way, a new thought, a new story, a new idea, a new way of responding. Because here's the other thing, you guys. The ego, the mind, the small self reacts. The heart, the soul, the true self responds. Here's the difference. I'm going to use this refugee crisis that we're currently going through, especially here in the US with all those children who've been taken away from their families. Reaction is yelling at the TV. Reaction is yelling at that political party and this political party because it's their fault or it's his fault or it's her fault. Reaction is going on fucking social media and yelling at strangers, taking my opinions and trying to mow people down with them as if that ever fucking solved anything. If you really think that perpetuating anger and judgment and division is the answer, really? If that worked, we would be a lot further along than we are, I promise you. So when I am reacting, when I am not taking the time to expand that space between something just came at me, but I'm going to take a minute. I'm going to take a breath. I'm going to take a beat. And I'm going to say, how else can I respond here? How else can I change things here? This is what the heart does. The heart says, how can I serve? How can I help these kids? How can I help these people? How can I help my fellow humans? How can I elevate the subject of my focus to a higher level? Where is my opportunity to choose love and compassion and understanding and unity? So what are you perpetuating? Where in your life are you trying to pretend that things aren't what they are? And that's really what Neptune in retrograde is all about. Neptune in retrograde is all about the reality, the clear truth of where you are currently standing, the impulse, the catalyst, and the choice, the response. And this is where the power lies. These are the keys to multidimensional awareness, is choosing to access all of these levels. Is it a mental thing? Is it an emotional thing? Is it a physical thing? Is it an energetic thing? And maybe it's all of them. And how do I access that? And where is the point of my focus? Am I still looking out here to tell me how things are? Or am I trusting the only thing that is ever clear? Which is, how do I feel? What is my sense here? When I close my eyes and I let all of this fall away, what is really clear for me? And since I'm the only one that knows what truth feels like, I'm the only one that really has to feel good about my choices. And since I'm the only common thread in all of my experience, the one common denominator in all of your experience is you. So, are you going to jump from impulse to reaction and just be popping off left and right, depleting yourself, exhausting yourself, getting yourself all worked up into a frenzy? Or are you going to take a second and go, wait a minute, I can observe myself here. I can watch Andrew go from his, this thing that just came at him or came from within, and I'm going to see what he chooses. What else is possible here? So give me a thumbs up, give me a heart or an emoji if you are ready to make a new choice. If you are ready to decide again. If you are ready to move in a new direction that feels more like you. You don't access, this multidimensional self is not accessed out here. The multidimensional experience is not about walking through a door out there. The portal is in here. And if I want to tap into all of my power, if I want to invite all of my selves, all of my aspects to join me here and now, I got to do everything I can to cultivate and nurture this connection. I got to do everything I can. That is my priority, is my relationship with myself. Because when that's off key, when that's off kilter, when that's off balance, what the fuck? Everything is off key and off kilter and off balance. I can no longer say 90% is great, 10% sucks, but I'm just going to ignore this 10% and blow up the other 90% and just make people look over here and focus on this, and I'll just ignore that. No, this 10% that you're not paying attention to, that's the sand in the gears. That's the thing that's going to bring you to a screeching halt. That's the thing that's going to bring you around again and around again. And here we go again. Oh my God, not this again. Yes, this again. Until you find the power in the space between impulse and choice. How can I access happy, happy joy land if I'm always walking around angry and entitled? If I'm always walking around expecting to be disappointed with a chip on my shoulder? How can I access the land of physical health and wellness if I'm always focusing and saying how weak and sick and broken I am? I had this woman come to see me at House of Intuition last week. Lovely woman, and I gave her a reading. But the first thing she said to me, I would say probably in like the first 5 minutes, all she was talking about is how she was cursed. She was cursed. I have a curse. I must be cursed. I'm so unlucky. I'm cursed. I'm cursed. I'm cursed. And I was just sitting there watching her, and I'm like, girl, anytime you're ready to stop saying that, things will begin to turn around. It's the same thing as I can't. Yes, you can. Shut the fuck up with I can't. Yes, you can. That's why you're here. So that you can. Because you can. That's why you're here. So July is the month. July is the month, you guys. We're in the midst of eclipse season. We just had the equinox a couple of days ago. Then we've got it bookended with, the solstice in September. I can never fucking remember equinox or September, but we had June 21st, and then we're going to September 21st. You figure it out. So is your point of focus always out here? And are you letting this menu of catastrophe and disaster and chaos be the thing that tells you what your life is? Or are you finding this in here, getting right with this, and using that to imprint the life that you want? This is the primary reality. I will say this until I die. This is the secondary reality. Without this does not exist. The only reason the human experience exists is because the soul has chosen it. I love words with friends. I know this seems random, but I promise there's a point. Give me a thumbs up or an emoji if you love Words with Friends. So I was playing Words with Friends, and I've got like so many games going on at one time. It's one of my favorite distractions. And I have like, I don't know, like and I'm really fucking good at Words with Friends, by the way. So I hate losing. And when I lose or when I think I'm losing, I get really cranky and really childish and like just want to throw my phone. But last night I was playing it, and there was like 5 games in a row that I was losing. And not just by a couple of points. We're talking like they had 300 points and I had like 75. Okay, that's a bit dramatic. But it was a really big gap between their number and my number. And I was just being really pissed, and I was like, God, this sucks. I hate losing. Why am I playing this? This person sucks. They must be cheating, blah, 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 going on and on and on. And then I said, wait a minute. I'm not going to let this game tell me that I'm a loser. I'm going to decide that I'm going to turn this around. And I used this as my own little experiment. And I decided, no, I am not going to lose. I am going to win this game. I'm going to turn this game around. Wouldn't you know it? This morning, I was playing, catching up on my games, and like 3 of those 5 games that I was so terribly losing, one person played like a 2-letter thing, and then another 2-letter thing, so I was catching up, and I was getting all these amazing letters. Another one like skipped their turn or something. I mean, it was literally like it just turned around, and I thought, okay, this is sort of, you know, in the big scheme of things, no. Me winning Words with Friends is not any fucking big deal. But what it was a reminder that I am the creator of my reality. I literally am, and I am not waiting for some jury up in the sky to decide whether or not I've worked hard enough to deserve the things that I want. This is all about my relationship with my life, and what do I believe? What is my point of focus? What is my point of departure? Do I wake up in the morning saying this is going to be another fucking shitty day and I can't? Guess what? You just chose the dimension to live in where you're going to have a shitty fucking day and you can't. Now, I'm not saying put on your Pollyanna glasses and pretend everything's great when it's not, because Neptune retrograde does not allow us to do that. What I am saying is the gap between who you are and the who that you are becoming gets narrower and narrower and narrower when we allow ourselves to create a space that is bigger and bigger and bigger between impulse and action. Why? Because when I take the time, before I choose, before I speak, before I act, when I take the time to get really, really clear, to tune into here and ask, how can I transform my relationship with this person? How can I shift my reality and my connection to this issue? This thing that I perceive to be a block that keeps showing up again and again and again. Spirit, show me a 5D solution to this 3D problem. When I start to ask those questions in the gap, then man, that gets so expansive, and it just inevitably falls away, and I realize that I am not responding or reacting to anything. I am just in the flow, and I am meeting life as it comes up. I am meeting life in every moment. Hello, life. Hello. Oh, hello, old story. Oh, hello, my inner Judge Judy. Oh, hello, my little asshole. What are you doing today? Nope, I'm not telling that story today. That's not the dimension I'm going to live in today. It doesn't mean I'm denying who I am. It doesn't mean I'm denying the fact that I have these little judgy, bitchy, nasty little aspects that we all do. It just means that they don't have any power over me anymore because I'm not afraid of them. Because I have created a space big enough between impulse and reaction to examine them, to really look at them, to really open them up and understand them. And when I understand them, I no longer fear them. When I no longer fear them, they no longer control me. So if I want to bridge the distance between who I am and who I'm turning into or who I'm becoming, the fastest way for me to integrate myself with myself is to create a whole lot of space where I can get really, really clear on who I am in this moment, what it is that I desire, what are my intentions, and what am I going to choose? Am I going to react, or am I going to respond? Am I going to observe, or am I going to participate? And from what level am I choosing? Am I choosing from, I can't. When is it over? I'm so tired. Am I choosing from that place? Or am I choosing from, all right, this is some big shit. This is the real deal. Man, okay, this is the challenge of the day. I'm going to roll up my sleeves and I'm going to get in there. But first, I'm going to create a little space between where I am and what's on the other side of my choice. And that is where the power lies, in how you choose to either react or respond to your life. And in July, are you going to continue to choose the same old way that you have done it? Because this is my favorite saying: if you always do what you have always done, you will always get what you have always gotten. So if your life is 100% amazing and you have no complaints, you can stop watching now and get back to your life. But if you feel that you are ready to transform, if you feel that there are some things that have been kind of chronically sideways in your life, but you're ready to make peace with them, you're ready to unravel them, you are ready to redefine who you are in your life, then July is the month for you. So pay attention, not to this. Pay attention to this. Find that perspective. Find that place of love and compassion and empowerment. Find that place of living your deepest truth, your highest expression, and your greatest joy, and then refocus out here. Then ask, how can I help? How can I serve? What can I do? Where is my part? But if you're marching off half-cocked with a chip on your shoulder and I can't, you're really not going to get anything done. You're really just wasting your time. So take the time to get clear and get right with yourself, and I can help. Go to my website, andrewmartin.energy, and book a session with me. Check out the Mastery Mentorship Program. Yes, it's a big investment of time and money, but it's worth it. This boggles my mind that people spend $500, $600, $700 on a pair of shoes or a purse, which I am not judging. I like nice things too. But the fact that we will so willingly spend hundreds of dollars on something that in 6 months is just going to be another piece of shit that I'm over, that I have to consign or give away or throw out in the garbage. But for me to spend a couple $100 or several $100s or even a couple of $1,000s on something that can change my life, you decide. It's your time, it's your money, it's your energy. You get to make the choice, and that's the point. July is all about the power of your choice. That's it, my friends. Mwah. I love you so, so much. Thank you so much for watching. Ooh, and one more thing. Please go to my YouTube channel, YouTube andrewmartin.energy. I am less than 500 subscribers away from 10,000 subs, and I would love to reach the 10,000 mark. So please subscribe, like, share, reblog, repost, retweet, rebling, blog, whatever it is that you do, you millennials. I'm just teasing. I love you guys. I love you, I love you, I love you. Oh, also, if you're on Facebook, check me out on Instagram, because I spend a lot more time on Instagram than I do on Facebook these days. Facebook is weird and kind of gross, and for whatever reason, I'm staying away from it as much as possible. So Instagram is the way to check me out, or you can go to my website and sign up for my newsletter, andrewmartin.energy. Click subscribe. I love you guys. Have a fantastic tail end of your June. I will see you at some point in July, I am sure. Thank you so much for watching. I love you. Mwah. Talk to you later. Bye.